Coming up next, Forecaster John Bordash goes over the latest forecast, timing of the winter storm, and impacts you can expect in southern Maryland and across the mid-Atlantic. Stay tuned. This live forecast begins shortly. Coming up next, Forecaster John Bordash goes over the latest forecast, timing of the winter storm, and impacts you can expect in southern Maryland and across the mid-Atlantic. Stay tuned. This live forecast begins shortly.
After a 2-year snow drought, accumulating snow is looking likely for southern Maryland. As snow moves into southern Maryland, turn to JB Weather for the latest. Forecaster John Bordash will be providing around-the-clock coverage, providing the latest analysis, forecast updates, and live reports to keep you and your family ahead of the storm. When winter weather strikes, JB Weather is looking out for you.
Brought to you by our sponsors: William Richmond Inc., Farmers Home and Auto Insurance, the Bob Koski Agency, R.E. Graves Heating and Air Conditioning, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, McNeil's Group Properties, the Charleston Senior Community, and Chesapeake's Bounty. Now, here's a weather alert update from JB Weather.
All right, and good morning, everyone. I'm Forecaster John Bordash with you this morning right after 6:30 to give you the latest update here from the JB Weather Center on what we are looking at. We have a lot going on. I see a lot of comments already that it started snowing, but it's not snowing now. Is the forecast busting? What is going on? Let's get right into it. So far this morning, we have already seen a nice coating of snow for some areas. Radar analysis showing potential snow accumulation so far is shown right now. We can see those brightest colors in central Virginia creeping their way into our region. I kind of tried to denote with some lines and some writing what each color means. We saw some snow pushing up towards that yellow line. What will be happening, though, over the next little bit? That's a question a lot of people want to know. Coming back over here to radar, we saw snow moving initially, and this is our southern Maryland radar right here. We saw snow coming initially. We've seen a little bit of a break, but look at all the snow back to our south and west. That will be pushing in here over the next few hours. I think by 7 o'clock, we should start to see some widespread snow between about 7 and 8. Some widespread snow really across the region that will begin to really start to accumulate. Some areas have already seen a dusting, maybe up to half inch, and people are like, what's going on? But don't worry, I think the forecast is still on track for our region. Coming back here to what we are looking at right now, again, we've seen snow accumulate. We had those winter storm warnings in effect. I've modified this graphic a little bit to show you where they're in effect until. So for Calvert and St. Mary's counties, this winter storm warning is in effect from now through about 7 o'clock this evening. For Charles and PG County, that's in effect until midnight tonight, where you'll hang on to snow a little longer. This is in effect all the way until 6 a.m. on Tuesday in Anne Arundel County, and that is where you're going to be looking at the potential for snow to continue into the day, Monday evening. This goes until about 1 o'clock in the morning for Westmoreland County and until midnight down towards King George County. So we will be looking at additional snowfall accumulations moving in. These winter storm warnings will be in effect here for decent amount of time still to come. The snow start times, again, between 4 and 7 o'clock. That first wave pushed through about 4 o'clock. That second wave will be pushing in here over the next hour or two. The snowfall totals I had forecasted. You could see pinpoint locations running at the bottom ticker there, but we are looking at a general 3 to 6 inches of snow today from the first wave of this system. A little bit lower amounts for coastal southern Calvert and St. Mary's counties. That's where that rain snow line will be pushing in first, and I will show you the latest timing on that in just 1 second. And lower amounts to the north and east, where the snow just won't be falling as long. We will go over to a period of sleet and then rain this evening, so a lot of this will wash away. That's been in the forecast for a while now. We could see up to a glaze of ice accumulate through parts of southern Maryland, higher totals the further north and west you head. We might see a little bit of snow on the back side of this as that coastal low gets developing. Phase 2 of this storm. Overnight model trends, though, have shown a more northern solution with this coastal system. So if I were to modify this map, I'm going to take all the areas you see here, all those shaded zones, probably move them to the northwest by about 50 miles. That still puts southern Maryland probably seeing about an inch or so of snow Monday evening. As snow showers redevelop across the area, but much of Sunday night going into Monday morning, we might not even see rainfall. We could just be looking at a lull. I will continue to update this forecast, so I'm going to be very transparent on what we're seeing, and I'm not going to just try to gaslight my forecast. If this forecast looks like it's going to bust, I will let you know, but as things stand right now, I do not expect that. Here is the storm total forecast, adding part 1 and part 2. If we zoom here into southern Maryland, we're talking about 3 to 5 inches from about St. Leonard to about Leonardtown Point south, maybe more like 2 to 4 down towards Scotland, where that rain comes in a little sooner. Higher totals will be found the further north and west you head. Annapolis, Bowie, Reagan National, you could be seeing snow today, but then you could see additional accumulations as we head over into Monday, and that is definitely possible. Breaking down your storm timeline here in southern Maryland for today. This really kind of takes you hour by hour of what to expect. I updated this to really give you an idea of what to expect. Again, snow will have the highest impacts between about 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock in our region. Southern zones, though, we'll start to see that mix over to sleep begin around 2 to 4 o'clock at the earliest, potentially really moving through the region between about 4 and about 8:30 or so. Then rain will begin to push northward. Travel difficulties will be present all day today. I do not recommend travel at all. If I were a school official, I would probably close school now as things stand. But what I will show you is the future cast for how this forecast looks to play out for the rest of today. Let's take you over here, over to future cast. You can see the timestamp up there. This shows snow coming into our region. Let's put this in motion here. And you can see the snow really begins to pick back up by the time we head towards 7, 8, and definitely by about 9 o'clock this morning. You can see some deeper blues now beginning to move into our region. If we zoom out, that sleet line is all the way down near the Richmond, North Carolina border. So this will allow for several hours of snow yet to come in southern Maryland. So what you have right now will not be everything you see today. And this model has been very consistent. You can see this by the lunch hour into the early afternoon, developing a heavy band of snow in southern Maryland. If this does indeed hold true, we could be seeing 3 to 6 inches area-wide and potentially getting closer to 5 and 6 inches across our region. And yes, even in southern Calvert and St. Mary's counties, that could be the potential we're talking about. Now, if this rain line moves in quicker, that will not happen, and some models have shown that as well. This is our highest resolution model that updates every hour, gets new information, and so I tend to favor this. This model does not have that sleet and rain line getting into St. Mary's County till like 3:34, 4:30. That's what that pink denotes, and then you can see the rain to the south. This continues heavy snow across our region going into the afternoon, and then as we push this forward here, you can see that sleet line, I mean, now we're talking Lexington Park, Lusby, Leonardtown, Hollywood by about 5:30. This pushes you up into, let's take this back here, right into the Prince Frederick area, Hughesville, Golden Beach, La Plata by about 6:30, 7 o'clock. And then by about 7 o'clock, and getting towards 8, that is now up towards Deal, Clinton, to the north of Chesapeake Beach and Waldorf, and then we stick with rain going into the evening. And this model has potentially a little bit of clearing in our region as we head towards about 9 and 10 o'clock. That is definitely possible, and if this happens, you wouldn't wash away all of the snow, so that would be a great thing to see. If we take you back over here, let's take a look at our latest traffic cameras from across the region, what they're showing. First, we're taking a look here in Callaway. We're talking Route 5 at the intersection with 246. You can see with the lights showing a little bit what's going on. We can see snow coming through. I see just one question as I look over what happened to California on the ticker. Yesterday, I had 60 towns loaded up. That was too much for the ticker, so I had to narrow it back down to 30. For California, I think that Hollywood or Lexington Park number is going to be good. California 3 to 5. Just kind of take what you see here shown. If you see a city near you, I would definitely use that instead. I cannot fit every town name on this ticker. Unfortunately, I wish I could. But as this comes through, I can see we're coming close to St. Mary's County now on the ticker. That will show you what's going on. But Callaway right now is showing snow. Not all of these traffic cameras are the best, so we'll try to get some of the better ones here. As we look over here towards Lexington Park at 235 intersection with 237, roadways look wet, which is good. We're not seeing a whole bunch of snow accumulation. Coming over to Leonardtown, you can see a little bit of a haze there. We're looking at snow beginning to redevelop in that area. I believe the Hughesville camera is not the best. But this does show, this is not Hughesville, this is over towards the Marbury area, to the north of Nanjamwine. This already has a snow accumulation on the road, so this will become an ongoing theme across our region today. As we take a look over towards Chesapeake Beach, nothing on the roads just yet. Over towards Brandywine, traffic looks to be moving on as normal. The Benedict Bridge looks to be good at this point. And the Thomas Johnson Bridge is now we head closer to sunrise. We're able to see what's going on. Not too much white on the ground, which is good news so far, but I think that will be changing as we head later into today. One last look here, taking us over towards Route 4 at 235. We are starting to see the sun come up, so this picture should get a little bit better. So we will continue to see that improve. This will, I think, start to show some snow across our region throughout the day today. So that's kind of what we're talking about at this point. Again, snow will begin to really ramp up across our region as we head towards the late morning hours into the early afternoon hours. That's when the heaviest snow, maybe not necessarily heavy, but the heaviest snow will come through. We will be looking at a changeover then to that sleet, probably between about 4 and 8 this evening. And then that rain would push in after that, but as I just showed you on Futurecast, that does not have rain sticking around all that long in our region, which would be good news. Just gonna go through some of the comments now to see what we have. How did you get the vid for Benedict Bridge? I need it for traffic. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce your name. I'm gonna mess that up. But just the MDOT website, that'll give you that view. Any updates for Eastern Virginia? If I can zoom out here, and let's actually just go back to Eastern Virginia, and actually what might be better if I just come over here. Actually, let's use this version of radar. If we can zoom this out, we are looking at snow even moving all the way down through Richmond, Virginia Beach, the Hampton Roads area. We're looking at snow pretty much region-wide right now. Even these areas in eastern and southeastern Virginia should get about an inch or two before that change over to sleet and then rain. Let's see. Just get better year after year. That is always the goal, Joyce. That is always the goal. Let us know is going to be starting by now. I need to widen this out so I can see these names a little better. I think that's Lori. So I mean, if we come back over here to the graphic, let's take this back one. Snow beginning between 4 and 7. We talked about this last night a little bit earlier today as well. We would see that initial band work through, then probably a lull, and then we would see more snow move back in by about 7. If we come back over here to sensitive radar focus right here on southern Maryland, you can see we have snow from the south and west gradually moving back into the region, so we will see that really ramp up, I think, here in the next couple of hours. Looks like work at PAX tomorrow, and I would definitely, for closings or for closings for schools or businesses, in a normal year, I would have all that for you. This year's going to be a little weird. I'll try my best to keep up with it, but I would definitely recommend checking with your school district for the latest guidelines and latest information on how they would handle a snow day given the pandemic and the weird hybrid versus virtual and in-person. And I'm not a school administrator. I can't give you that information. I would definitely get in contact and stay up to date with them. I will try to keep updates on JB weather as well for you. Let's see. Got that. Left being at one of the highest points in Calvert County. Oh, yeah, Gail. Especially if they're towards like Dunkirk and Sunderland and Owings, so you tend to get a little bit more of that way. I see people do like the chart. I like the chart too. I think it's a great way to kind of show what to expect. If I bring this back We'll leave this up while I get through some of these other questions. Let's see. Brenda wants to know about Hagerstown. I say I'm going to stay here, but I lie. If I zoom this out, Hagerstown, you can see on my map here. I try to keep this a little more regional. I know people travel, people from around the region tune in. Hagerstown, I would expect about 6 to 12 inches up that way. Light snow with 1/4 of an inch on the ground already in Faulkner, Maryland. Thank you for that, Kevin. Chaptico already has a nice layer of snow already. I'm not doing a whole lot in North Beach right now. Come on, snow. And don't worry, Carol. That is slowly but surely working its way towards you. If I can come into radar here. Let's pause it. Snow is trying to turn us to cross the Potomac River again. We've had some dry air around today. Here was that initial band of snow on over toward that moved through this morning, and it's now bringing snow to places like Philadelphia, Harrisburg, down towards Dover and Bel Air. You see that lull we were in, and then we have additional snow getting ready to come back into the region, and that will continue to be the case here over the next little bit. Any thoughts on secondary low formation? Clemson wants to know on Periscope. I do think that will favor a more northerly track. That's something we had discussed yesterday and even this morning. Actually, I want to come back here. Got to find the right graphic. So this was my forecast for the coastal low that will develop. This looks to be developing probably about 50 miles to the north than what was shown yesterday. So I would probably take all of the totals you see here, shift them about 50 to 100, probably about 50 miles to the north and west. And I can show you some model data here in just a second, and we can talk a little bit more about that. Erica's patiently waiting for snow in south central Pennsylvania. Erica, I'm also in south central Pennsylvania near Harrisburg. And I don't think we have snow yet. I haven't looked outside recently. I've been glued to the computer, but I will see when that starts. We should be getting snow here just over the Mason-Dixon line, probably in the next 3 hours or so. Any guesstimate for the lull or rain window? If I bring it back over to that graph, the chart rather, that kind of shows you this. We should probably go over to rain, probably about 7 o'clock. But even I should really update this as well. Where you see that yellow, that should probably be more like a light green because we got the potential to get back into that lull around that time. If I bring it back over here to Futurecast, this has only light rain showers to very little going on by 8 or 9 o'clock after that period of heavy snow. Gail, been snowing in Port Republic for a little while now. Thank you for that report. Trying to figure out what time to kick. That's funny. Yeah, Brandy, because he's going down to Jacksonville, right? I would probably hold off until this evening when you can get the rain in. So New Jersey already. George, I don't have, George from Periscope, I can't confirm that, but based on radar, that's the way it looks. And it looks like we have our first snow emergency in effect for Montgomery County, Maryland. So that's very exciting. What is happening in Hollywood? No snow at all. Darla is saying, coming back over here to radar, you can see we have that initial lull move through after the first kind of band of snow. Now we're going to start to see some additional snow move back into the region over the next hour or two. So if I can, and thank you for those of you that have still stuck around, and we'll be doing these updates every 90 minutes or so. When we get towards the heart of the storm, we'll probably do these a little longer, do it a little bit more continuously. There just isn't that much I would talk about consistently at this point in the morning as everything is still trying to get its act together. If I can show you, though, our latest models. There we go. Let's take a look at, I'm going to take a look at the NAM. I'm going to zoom this out to the East Coast. What I will show you here is, this is the model for this evening. You can see our area low pressures here. It's dying off a lot sooner. And that coastal low gets going off the Carolina coastline. However, it tracks a little bit more out to sea, then kind of stalls off the New Jersey coastline this evening. Or not this evening, but going into Monday evening. This is 0Z Tuesday, so it'll be right around 7 p.m. And look where it sets up that heavy snow band through southern New England, northern New Jersey, and eastern Pennsylvania. Wherever this snow band will set up somewhere. The question is, will it set up in New England? Will it set up in New Jersey and Pennsylvania? Will it set up in our region? That is still very much possible. We just don't know at this rate. But this, so this is Monday evening, rather. This is 7 p.m. Monday. Moving this forward, though, it just slowly sits off and then brings snow further north. The latest North American model. First, let me show you what's going on locally, because I know that is a big question for a lot of people. What do the models say for our region right now? If we take this through, this is current snow totals. Let's move this forward through the evening. This model has about 3 to 6 inches in our region. And then you could just see those totals really blossom north and west, getting over a foot probably over towards Philadelphia. Now, the model I showed you earlier, which was the HER model, let me bring that up and take you through with this one. This model is a little bit more bullish on the front end snow, more 5s and 6s in our region. Those little purple dots there show a scattering of 6. So that's a potential as well. So there's definitely going to be a lot to keep track of as we head through here over the next little bit. If we take you back over to the traffic cameras, though, let's take a look back here at Callaway, see what we're looking at, and we're still looking at some snow accumulating as well. Let's see. Time knowledge is greatly appreciated, of course, Brandy. Driving from DC to Mechanicsville, roads are good. That is great to, and I'm sure at this point they probably are. We can see here, just looking at the Callaway camera, we have some snow accumulation on the grass. I can see that. You can see like kind of back in here, but the roads for the most part are pretty mainly wet. And then if we take a look over towards Brandywine, we can see while it's in black and white, traffic looks to be moving smooth, and it looks like just wet roadways so far. So yes, this is what we're looking at. So I will continue to keep you updated with the latest. I will continue to have updates here on Twitter and on Facebook throughout the day today, and I'll try to keep the website updated as well. If we get any new weather alerts, any closing information, I'll try to relay that the best I can. But I would definitely recommend keeping it tuned local, or keeping it tuned with your local school district to get the latest information with that. Just to come back here, though, again, this graphic I think really helps to kind of tie things together. This is up on Twitter and Facebook. I would definitely share this. This is a graphic that really kind of brings everything together. We're talking the heaviest snow late this morning going into the evening hours, in the early afternoon hours rather. And that, if you're looking to do snowball fights, snowman, go sledding, I would recommend during that time before the changeover to sleet and rain happens, so you can get a decent amount of snow. But I will continue to keep you updated. Keep it tuned here to JB Weather for the latest. I'm providing coverage I don't think anyone else is going to provide you for Southern Maryland to keep you ahead of the storm. So we will continue to keep an eye on this. Stay tuned to JB Weather and have a nice and safe one.
After a 2-year snow drought, accumulating snow is looking likely for Southern Maryland. As snow moves into Southern Maryland, turn to JB Weather for the latest. Forecaster John Bordash will be providing around-the-clock coverage, providing the latest analysis, forecast updates, and live reports to keep you and your family ahead of the storm. When winter weather strikes, JB Weather is looking out for you.